most of the people do their work throughout the day, and throughout the day when you are dependent on your demanding boss or on your kids that always want something or on your deadlines, it is quite hard to find the time when you can unrush, unhurry, and throughout your workday, it is sometimes hard to find the possibility to just find some space for slow living, although it is also possible. But I think that for busy people, it is better to start with the evening because it is the time when you want to relax. But even though in the evening, we try to slow down, we try to let go of the day thus far, it is hard for us anyways to do that because work thoughts and these intrusive thoughts about our projects or our family, they seem to just never let us go. And I'm not the exception. I always find myself once in a while in the evening thinking about the future, what can I do better in this project, or what if I need to find a better job or whatever. Or our thoughts may be in the past about the things that we did, why would we do that, and we think about how we could act better in that situation. Sometimes forget to be in the present moment. And this is what I want to return in my life, and there are 3 things that I decided to use in my evenings in order to return this feeling of slowliness, of savoring every moment into my evenings. The first rule is do not work after work. Easier said than done. It is really hard sometimes to not work after work because we've got our emails that always come in and we need to check them, or we've got messages with our workmates. Just for myself, I decided that I need to find ways to stop working after work. It does not only get my life away from me so that I'm not in the present moment, I'm not mindful, but it also may disrupt my sleep because I'm always in stress and I think about things that I've got to do or that I did in the past, or this also doesn't let me be productive because there's a lot of evidence that sometimes we need to be in that diffused mode when our attention is not concentrated on our work in order to be more productive, more creative, more problem solvers the next day. So we need those chunks of time when we completely unplug from our day-to-day work and we just use this time to let our minds rest. Just think about what the life was 100 years ago. I think that people just worked in the factories and they came home and let all that work life there in the factory because at home they obviously don't have tools to work, right? And they leave all the work behind and spend time with their families and just do something to rest, and during the dinner time they all communicate with each other, and I think that we miss that. And let's compare it with today. The big chunk of work is intellectual, and when you finish your work, you're still not finished. You still get back with those thoughts to your projects, to your work, to your to-do lists. As your work is in your mind, it can't that easily get out of that ambient of being in the working mode all the time. And these thoughts simply don't let me slow down. If you find that this is you, and I'm talking about you, set the time if you need to work longer, prolong your workday, but find this moment when you completely are finished and when you don't let yourself touch your work in any way during the next several hours before you go to bed. Not only because this is somehow tiring for you, or you feel uncomfortable being always on hand for somebody, but because it is ruining your creativity, productivity, your sleep, your overall well-being, and it is not supposed to be normal. If what I'm talking about resonates with you and is relevant for you, it would be great if you could leave the like to spread these ideas further on YouTube. Okay, not working after work is a good idea, right? Is a good habit, but how do we get here? How come to finally stop working and not go back to work? Because it's easier said than done, right? And what I'm offering here is to create a finishing ritual. But before we discuss what that is, I want to talk about what doesn't let us stop working on time and not get back to our work. This is called the Zeigarnik effect. The Zeigarnik effect states that people get to have more intrusive thoughts and constantly return their minds to the action that was uncompleted or interrupted. Sure, our work is not made from daily projects that we finish every day and we have this sense of completion in the end of the day and we can let go of our work. No, we work in like big projects, and because we don't finish, something meaningful in our work every day, we may feel that uncomfortable thing inside of us, that Zeigarnik effect, when we get these thoughts about what we did not complete or we got interrupted from. And how I offer you to solve this problem, to solve the Zeigarnik effect in your day. Well, this is where finishing ritual comes in. Finishing ritual is an action or a set of actions that you do to somehow symbolize the end of your workday. This can be words like certain affirmations, for example, I'm done for today. This can be a ritual, or you can write your to-do list for tomorrow, or you can write do some journaling, right? Or you can review your to-do for tomorrow, or you can clean up your space, your table after you finish your work and turn off the computer. And this helps a lot to let go of your work and get in this slow mode. Sometimes I go have a shower as my ritual because this helps me to slow down, because in the shower I don't really rush much and it helps me to get in this slow living state. So this can be anything for you, any set of actions that you will do every single day when you work in order to let go of your day and to get in the slow living mode. Actually, this is only one of the ways, but maybe you know some other ways that help you let go of your workday in the evening. So if you want, leave them in the comments. It will be really interesting to read some ways how we can stop working when it's time to stop working. And the third rule that I wanted to talk about is doing something meaningful in your leisure time. For a long time, I had this feeling that I really live only on Saturdays and Sundays, because all the other days that were full of work and full of chores and nothing else. And even when I did have a few hours after work and before work to do something that I really want, something that would be meaningful and really nourishing, I still was feeling like the workday is a workday and nothing else. It's not a leisure day, it's a workday. And this feeling didn't let me think through my leisure time and think what I want to do in those few hours that are left after your workday. So the third rule is to do something meaningful and to plan your leisure time. And planning my leisure time is really important for me, because I'm not the person that would do something that is really nourishing, some crafts or taking care of my plants or drawing or journaling. No, I would grab the remote control and watch TV. And I think this is true for many people, that we get to be unintentional about our leisure time and we accept everything that's presented to us in the evening without even thinking much whether or not we want to do that, because we didn't think our evenings through. We didn't plan our leisure time. Although there's nothing wrong, of course, with watching TV or scrolling through your Instagram feed, I don't know, whatever makes you happy. But in my situation, I really don't want to do that every evening. This is why I decided to plan my leisure time. And there are things that I've been thinking about once in a while, but I was always thinking that, I don't really have time for that. For example, I've been wanting to learn how to make braids on myself for years, but I've never actually tried to learn how to do braids. And I was always thinking, I don't have time for that. It's not that important. It's a work day, so I will not do anything else afterwards. The problem was not that I don't have time. The problem was that I did not plan it. And now I have a list of things that I may do in my leisure time. Among those, I have like learning the Notion or finding some exercises to improve my speaking, my speech. And these are really exciting for me to try. I already learned some braids and how to do them. It gives me joy, but it also helps me to be in the moment. Isn't this what slow living is about? To be mindful, to be present, to do something meaningful and joyful, and not to rush into something. And I feel like when we watch TV shows, it is sometimes nice, but it doesn't let you be in the moment. You are there in the story that it's told throughout the TV show, right? But you're not here and now. And doing something manual, like making braids, helps you be in this moment and along the way improve yourself in something. By creating some meaningful leisure time, I tend to not be somewhere else with my thoughts, either in the movie that I'm watching, or in the future, or in the past, or in my work. I let my thoughts be here because I planned this time. I selected this activity as my activity of choice for today, and I'm all about it. And I am present in this moment, and I live slowly and enjoy my evenings, my life a lot more. Because if we skip our evenings, if we do whatever is presented to us without thinking it over, we just skip our lives. We just miss some parts of it that could be filled with the activities that truly nourish us. Moreover, there's something that I believed in recently. I was sometimes thinking that if you work intellectually, it is better like to switch to some physical work if you really want to rest and let your mind rest. And partly this is true, like taking a shower, for example. But the truth is that your mind does not get tired like your physical body. Like if you are tired physically, you need to just lie down and rest. But if you are tired mentally, you simply need to switch the activity and continue doing some intellectual work, but completely different from what you were doing. And your mind does not get that tired. Sure, sometimes it's important to be in this diffused mode, like when you are walking in the park or taking the shower, but it's not like you need to completely stop intellectual work right when your workday has finished. So yeah, I learned to do a few braids, and as you can see right now, I've got a little wavy hair. I showed the process of learning at my Instagram page, so if you're interested in that, check my Instagram page, please. Also, please watch the following promo of my Patreon page.
If you haven't yet, consider joining my Patreon for February, because on March the 1st, I'm starting the Get Your Sleep Back 7-day sprint. It focuses on science, habits, and tools that will help you maintain healthy sleep hygiene, get a better and longer sleep, and become more productive and happy. If this is what you're looking to improve right now, check out the details in the description. It is the only launch I make, so take a chance to enroll.
Have the most wonderful day. Goodbye.